Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Friday, September 22nd, 2023. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. Help support the show. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. Links are below. You know what to do. 2 shirts, 2 ways to get them. Click on the links and help support everything that we do, including this very special Friday. Doing the news right now. And then tonight, Melissa Tittle, a very special presentation on the Peruvian mummies. And she is one of the original researchers going back to 2017, 2018 into all of this. So tonight, I'll see you with Melissa Tittle on Fade to Black. Let's get straight to it. On this day in history, 1692. It was to be the last executions during the Salem witch trials. 8 people were hanged on this day in 1692. Here's your Fader fact. You could walk from Magadan in Russia to Cape Town in South Africa without needing a vehicle. That's right. You can walk it, and it's just over 14,000 miles. People did it all the time back in the day. Kind of reminds me of when I walked to school in the winter. Yeah. Breaking news. The James Webb Space Telescope has identified carbon dioxide originating from the salty liquid oceans of Jupiter's icy moon, Europa. Scientists have been aware for some time that the oceans lie beneath the icy shell of Europa, but did not know if these oceans had the right chemistry to support life. But now they've discovered carbon, a vital element in living things. From the subsurface ocean on one of the Jupiter's moons has important implications for the potential habitability of this moon. And the warning from Arthur C. Clarke at the end of 2010, quote, "The universe is yours to explore, but leave Europa alone. It's ours," end quote. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. 2 pieces of space junk, big ones, almost slammed into each other in low Earth orbit, highlighting the need to clean out the garage. Leo Labs, a space traffic management services company, which tracks satellites and other objects in orbit, spotted the close call on September 13th as a defunct Soviet payload and a spent Chinese rocket body whizzed by each other at insane speeds. The conjunction of the 2 objects saw the pair pass each other head on. Leo Labs identified these as likely being Cosmos 807, an 880-pound payload launched in 1976, and a roughly 4,400-pound Chinese Long March 4C rocket stage launched 5 years ago. Each are traveling at 16,800 miles per hour as they passed overhead at an altitude of around 428 miles. A collision of these highly energetic, massive chunks of space junk would create around 3,000 pieces of flaming debris in low Earth orbit. And one heck of a kinetic explosion that we might have seen from our backyards. This could also threaten astronauts aboard the International Space Station or China's Tiangong Space Station. So, yeah, it's time to clean out the garage. Jan's Hanning. Check this out. Jan's Hanning. Now Jan was supposed to create works of art with a $76,000 loan by a museum, but instead he took the money and ran in the name of art. Now, almost after 2 years of litigation, a Copenhagen court ruled on Monday that Hanning must return nearly all of the cash. In 2021, the Kunsten Museum of Modern Art in Aalborg in Denmark's Jutland region loaned Hanning the money to create updated versions of two earlier works, frames filled with banknotes depicting the average annual salaries of Austrian and Dane, for an exhibition on the future of labor. Instead, the artist sent the museum two empty frames entitled, quote, "Take the money and run," end quote, saying that he created the new better pieces to fit the exhibition's theme. The conceptual artist said the piece was a commentary on low wages and that his breach of contract was part of the work. Leave that right there. A team of researchers in Japan claims to have figured out a way to translate the clucking of chickens with the use of artificial intelligence. As detailed in a new report, the team led by University of Tokyo professor Adrian David Chiak, who, by the way, previously studied sex robots, came up with a system capable of interpreting various emotional states in chickens, including hunger, fear, anger, contentment, excitement, and distress, all by using cutting-edge AI techniques called deep emotional analysis learning. Yeah, right. I reserve judgment on the research until the paper has had a chance to be peer-reviewed. But yeah, it's fun and creative. It's a way to use AI and forge ahead to better understand what's going on between men and hen. A rare $10,000 bill dating back to the Great Depression has just sold for $480,000 at auction. Issued in 1934, the Federal Reserve Note was certified by Paper Money Guarantee, PMG, and was exceptional paper quality graded, according to the Dallas-based auction house Heritage Auctions. The $10,000 bill was the highest denomination note to ever circulate publicly, with the $100,000 bill only used to transfer funds between Federal Reserve banks. The most in 1934 $10,000 bill had sold for previously was $384,000 back in September of 2020. I remember when I was a kid looking at pictures of a $10,000 bill. You know, that's why I did the story today. And finally, I'll leave you with this. Elon Musk, Neuralink, is searching for its first human test subjects for a brain chip implant study. I made the announcement earlier this week. Medical experts now warn volunteers should have serious concerns. So do I. In 2019, Neuralink revealed that it had created technology that allows monkeys to control computers with their minds. You remember that video. In 2020, Musk and his Neuralink company reported that they were developing a chip that can be implanted into human heads, which will allow people to stream music directly to their brains. Then in 2021, Musk announced that he believed Neuralink would be ready to put chips in people's brains by the year 2022. That didn't happen. In 2022, Elon Musk's Neuralink company came under fire when testing its brain chip technology on monkeys. Now, in 2023, just a year later, right, in this research, Neuralink says it is ready to start human testing. Now, I reported this week that Neuralink said, and I quote, "We are happy to announce that we've received approval from the Reviewing Independent Institutional Review Board and our first hospital site to begin recruitment for our first in-human clinical trial," end quote. Once again, I think that we are getting way ahead of our skis. Do we need a robot to internally insert the implant into our brains? how do you remove it if something goes wrong? What if you don't want it? What if you change your mind? How do you get an internally inserted implant back out of your head? How is this research being done that led up to this? How many monkeys have given up their lives? Now, listen, to be clear, I'm not some tree-hugging animal rights activist. I'm not a hippie. I'm not any of that. But something just doesn't seem right. It's too fast. It's too much. And it's too soon. There you go. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church. Want to remind everybody these are two very special Friday broadcasts, today's news and tonight with Melissa Tittle at 7 p.m. on Fade to Black, where we are going to cover the Peruvian / Nazca mummies. I'll see you tonight. But for now, go Beckley Tappy.